This is the craziest game mode currently in the game, but here's how you can beat it. Let's talk about it. What's good, YouTube? No Game here. Come with you today with the Workshop a Brilliant Light guide. So guys, Netmarble just released this yesterday, and it's honestly a crazy game mode. If you checked out yesterday's stream, we streamed for over 5 hours, and I can guarantee you at least 3.5 hours of those were spent into Workshop a Brilliant Light, and it's honestly an insane game mode. It's very hard, especially on the pay to win accounts, but we're going to talk about the best ways to beat it, how you can even get it unlocked, and what's the best ways to get about these new artifact sets. So if you're rock with the boy, be sure to leave a like on the video. It really helps the channel out. If you're new, consider subscribing to the channel, turning on those post notifications so you're going to know each and every time we go live. But let's get straight into this. So when it comes to even unlocking this, Workshop a Brilliant Light is unlocked once you guys defeat chapter 10 on a hard mode, and I'm talking the entire chapter 10. So right now you're looking at the free-to-play account. As you can see, we did chapter 10, but we didn't do the side chapters in chapter 10 hard mode, so we had to do that to finally unlock Workshop a Brilliant Light. So we're currently locked out of there, but that's okay. We're on the pay to win account, and honestly guys, Workshop a Brilliant Light is an end game mode, okay? And what I mean by that is it's very hard. You free to plays are gonna have a hard time. Even some light spenders are having a hard time, even on easy mode. We're gonna talk about normal mode in a bit, and normal mode is freaking insane. So I wonder what they have in store for hard mode or whatever they're gonna release in the future. But as you can see, you do have to have a required battle tier as well. So it looks like for easy mode, it's 19, and then it's the same for normal mode. So if we're talking about getting into the Workshop a Brilliant Light, you need to go ahead and use one of these Brilliant Light invitations to go ahead and get into those. Now you're gonna get 2 per week, but let's go ahead and start a raid. We're gonna start an easy raid because it would be all too insane to, you know, do normal mode once more, but there's a lot of things to take into heart here. So this is the Demon Castle, so we can start from Black Cerberus, it looks like, and then after Black Cerberus is done, we're gonna show you guys the new artifact sets or the new blessing sets that we can talk about. Let's go ahead and get straight into this. And if you notice, there's gonna be different variants of game mode. So you're not even relying just on Sung Jinwoo, you're relying on your Sung Jinwoo, and you're relying on your hunters, or you're relying on your hunters on the next level. And then for Vulcan, that's gonna be all Sung Jinwoo. But let's start off here. We're going through the Gatekeeper of Abyss, Cerberus, otherwise known as Black Cerberus, as we guys just said. But for this setup, I'm running Egress first, bringing Tusk and bringing Blades. I like Plum Sword here. I want to get the Scotty upgraded a bit, but I ran out of mana cubes, so or melting cubes. But and then as far as blessing stones, we're going Pulverize, Double-Edged Sword, Boss Slayer, and Weakness Detection. We're bringing Earth Shock, Death's Dance for that increased crit buff, and Armor Iceberg. So with this, we're definitely overpowered, so this shouldn't take too long. But there's a few things to note here, so peep game and lock in here. Now, once we get into this, he's gonna start off with a flamethrower move. So he's on bad timing off the rip. So you have to shadow step this. It's in your best interest to shadow step this. We're gonna get behind here. We're gonna summon the shadows, summon some supports. Now, what you need to take note of is after you guys freeze, you won't be able to freeze back to back anymore. So there's actually a freeze cooldown, and that's what that you know kind of crossed out symbol is. There's a freeze cooldown. So if I use the Grimoire right now, that honestly wouldn't be smart. It would behoove me to kind of wait, but you know, can't really wait. Let's go ahead, boom. We're marauding him with attacks. We're doing our best. And then now he's going to do his meteor move, but we're stopping that dead in his track. Let's go ahead and get a full bloom here. But once you do a certain amount of damage, he will go ahead and move towards the middle. We finally got him though. Before he did that, oh, see, he ran towards the middle. He kind of like faked this out. It looked like he was running towards us. But guys, it's very important you don't get in that middle. You will get one shot. So the best thing to do here is just run in a circle till he's done, you know, doing this tornado move. That's all you can basically do. Looks like he gets some more invincibility frames. The biggest thing here though is a lot of bosses in this get invincibility frames as we're, you know, forcing ourselves through that little flamethrower move. That's honestly the best practice. Honestly, this might be a little too loud. If this was too loud, I'm sorry, but we can lower that a tad bit. just so we can explain a little bit more clearly. And yeah, like I said, for me, I'm basically overpowered by, what is it, almost 150k power. So it wasn't too difficult for me, at least at this level. Now, once you guys get out of this, you're gonna end up getting boots. I've always gotten boots here, so there hasn't been a situation where I haven't got boots. Now, of course, we gotta rely on RNG for the stats, but you're also getting Powders of Blessing, which is amazing. You're getting Artifact Enhancement Chip, Advanced Mana Crystals, really end game items that you really need. So I'm really able to craft almost a lot of blessing stones in a day. I think yesterday I crafted almost like 10, and I was very close to a legendary, but we ended up getting a epic instead. But after you guys complete that, you can either go here or here. Now there's something to note at the top. There's 3 bosses in this floor, so that's the remaining stages left. You can go ahead and go here, and that's not gonna go to 2 out of 3. So either Gatekeeper of Hell, the Demon's Castle, and Vulcan. The entirety of this raid will end once you beat all 3 of those bosses, or you end up, stopping the invitation and returning. But invitations that you use will not be returned. So there's honestly no reason to stop unless you know you can't beat that next level and you're just trying to grind out boots maybe or something. But let's talk about blessings in the game. So there's stages where you can play for blessings, that's burning overpass and that's burning squares. This is going to be hunters oriented, and I didn't play this on the easy mode just because we were overpowered, but we can explain it on the easy mode for sure. And what I like to run here, I like to run Cha, Alicia, and Mean in this order. Boom, we're going Cha first, going into Mean, and then Alicia. And then guys, Tusk is one of the best shadows. If you haven't seen the Tusk video already, he is the best when it comes to core attack. So we're really relying on Alicia here. We're using Cha for the brand, and this is basically what we're doing for a lot of the Hunters missions. We're relying on Cha's brand, we're relying on Mean's punishment and buffs, and then we're switching into Alicia for her core attack damage and spam, and then Tusk is buffing that up immensely. And then you can take a look at the artifacts here before we go right in, but let's get straight into this. So with the blessings, you are going to be able to get certain buffs, and it's going to be in real time. So with these side waves, you're going to be able to get certain buffs, and this is purely RNG. So there will be good and bad buffs that you can get, and when it comes to buffs, you're literally going to see what I'm talking about in a second. And this is complete RNG like I just said, but you will get blessing buffs, and you will have an opportunity to choose at waves 1, 3, and 5. So as you can see here, boom, we got a blessing that we can select, and then time will also, kind of wind down. So it's not like you have all the time in the world to select, and then it will be selected randomly if you take too much time. Now let's talk about this. So like I said, there's different ones. There's the legendary tier, there's heroic tier, and then there's rare tier. Just because something's legendary though, doesn't make it, the best and, end all be all. Now here, it is the best. I'm not gonna lie. So looks like break damage increase. It'll increase our break effectiveness. There's a lot of bosses that, have a nice hefty break gauge. So we can benefit from this. And then you can look at the rest. Looks like basic attack damage increase and then a critical hit rate increase as well. We're gonna go ahead and get that. And then that's gonna throw us into our next wave battle. And then boom. And then there's 5 waves like we just said. So you'll get another selection with that at wave number 3. So as we get into wave 3 currently, here we are. Let's go ahead and just use the ult here. Boom, boom. And it looks like, I want to say that's it. So now we can select our next blessing. And then, like I said, it's purely RNG. So you could get 3 rares, you could get 3 heroics. It would be very rare to get 3 legendaries. I haven't gotten even 2 legendaries, but as you can see, this one is a little bit more unfavorable. Now, let's see which one we'll take. Don't really need healing received. I could increase the basic attack damage, but I really don't spam basic attacks like that. So I might just take monster HP weakening. And we were kind of experimenting with this on RNG. There is a reroll kind of system when it comes to Workshop of Brilliant Light. Now, as we get into the last wave, you guys will basically be able to see, and then we might as well summon the shadows. It's the last wave, so why not? Looks like we're out of shadows too. We're gonna have to refill there. Let's not die though. Dying would be unfavorable. Let's go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll get our last blessing selection. So boom. Last but not least, looks like we have attack powerfully, we have skill offensive, and HP enhancement. Now, if you're running Alicia, if you're maining Alicia for the hunter side, this one's big, increases basic attack and core attack damage by 16%. And what I failed to mention is that each and every time that you guys unlock a blessing, you'll actually unlock it in real time in whatever wave battle you're doing. Now, when it comes to blessing, guys, if you don't like your blessings, you can retry the level. You can retry as much as possible. But also, what I need to tell you is that if you don't finish out the blessing level, like let's say time fully runs out and you only get one blessing, you're gonna stick with that blessing. And if you retry it, you can change it. Now, keep in mind though, if you retry and enter it in, you will not have the same blessing. So if I literally go in and then leave out, I'm gonna have no blessings, right? So you need to be 1000% sure, and I mean 1000% sure, that you don't want any of your blessings and that you're willing to risk and re-roll for your new blessings. As you can see, these are pretty good, these are okay, these aren't too bad. So we're going from Burning Overpass, and now with these new blessings, we're gonna be buffed up for Demon Castle 25th floor. And with this one, there are 4 different stages for this one, so it's very, very long. It's very, very tedious. Now what I do here, I sub Cha for Saw, and then I am rocking full solid analysis on Saw. That way we can break a lot of the monsters fast as possible. But let's get straight into this. Now let's get straight into this. So as you can see, the applied blessings that we got a mission ago are now going to be applied here. Now the first stage of this boss, he's going off of camouflage. So when you hit him with a certain amount of damage, he's actually going to disappear. Now of course you want to dodge him, dodge him, dodge him. Now what I found might be my perfect method is actually, I like a hard switch into Alicia and then kind of freezing. That way I can, you know, do a lot of damage there, and then as you can see, the damage is accumulating, and that kind of stops him from doing all types of freeze or camouflage moves. So definitely the strategy here is to use Alicia, and what you want to kind of be mindful of is the time. So you don't want to spend more than a minute, and we're just gonna ultimate here with Mean just because we can. You can get literally 4 ultimates a mission. And then boom, we're getting into the second part. And this boss also goes off a break gauge, so you need to hit him with a certain amount of breaks. So you definitely do need a break hunter here. Saw is gonna be your best bet. So if you guys don't have Saw, you need Saw. She's gonna be very, very viable for you as we use her ultimate here. Boom, we're QTEing to Mean. And then like I said, this mission isn't terribly hard for me, so we're not gonna summon the shadows just yet. But boom, 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 let's do as much damage as possible. Let's get him out the way. Let's get into this next one. Now this next boss, he is absorbing wind element damage. This is insane, okay? This is insane. So you literally need to be mindful of what hunters you're bringing. Thankfully, he's not absorbing light damage. When you do a certain amount of damage though, he's gonna change from wind to dark. So if you got any dark hunters, any wind hunters, just know that they won't be maybe too viable here unless, you know, maybe you can bring them whatever breaker, whatever light hunter you were thinking of, and then, you know, maybe not bring them for too long, or just, you know, don't use them when he does switch to the elemental strength. So just keep that in mind. He's going to absorb that as we get into this final stage. Now this boss, he's a little bit less harder, but it's just a matter of how much time you have to defeat him. Now he's gonna start off with the break gauge like the second stage boss. So we're gonna go ahead and do as much damage as possible. Hopefully we break, and see, that's the other thing. We come very, very close to not even breaking here. But let's go ahead and hit a punishment with a Mean ult. As we go ahead and QTE to Alicia, and then A5 Alicia is so broken here. I'm not even gonna lie. Boom, boom, boom. And then the ult plus the 2 core attack spam should do the trick. Tux definitely helps out here. As you can see, we're go ahead and clearing that through. I think that did 1 million damage in total. So the Mean buffs the mean to Alicia is definitely very viable here as we get a Burning Blessing necklace. Now that we finished up floor 25, we're gonna go ahead and get either into floor 50 or we can get more blessings through Burning Square. So the blessings that you get from Burning Square will not override the blessings that you get from Burning Overpass. These actually stack together. So currently we have 3 applied blessings. If we finish all the ways here on Checkmate Kaiser, we're gonna end up with 6 different blessings. So that's very, very big. If you're, on that teetering edge when it comes to the power scale, then you definitely want to do that. For Vulcan, we're literally just above power, but obviously we have a lot of A5 equipment, a lot of A5 hunters, so that's definitely why. If I was on the free to play, I would definitely need blessings for both as much as I can. But even if you're free to play or just getting into the end game artifacts and end game modes, you might not even be able to beat this all the way through, all the way to wave 5, and that's okay, right? As we dodge here, and then the first wave, he's honestly pretty easy. You definitely want to bring kind of the same team that I'm rocking here. I think this is most ideal. If you do have Maylene as she just released, then you can obviously throw her in place of Mean. But let's go ahead and get our first blessing here, and then here are some better blessings that we can show you guys. So we're talking critical hit damage enhancement, so that's going to increase our damage by 18%, or we can get critical hit rate or healing given increase. We obviously want that enhanced critical hit damage. That's big, as we literally 2-tap wave 2. That's insane. I mean, yeah, Alicia is just a monster in her own right. Okay, so we can honestly just kind of clear this through. I don't even know if we need to break. Okay, we will need to break. The break gauge is insane here. So at wave 3, you definitely want to get through those break gauges. They're going to be a very big obstacle for you. So let's do as much as we can. Just be mindful you are fighting 2 of the same boss, so it might be a little bit crazy to start. I usually like to break them both and then go ahead and then just spam ultimates. As you can see, we have 2 minutes left, so we're gonna do as much as we can, as fast as we can. Get them both in the way. Oops, almost missed that, but they both can do flamethrower moves. That's pretty big and crazy. So let's 1-tap him and 1-tap him. So that's the end of wave 3. So then we get another blessing. Now this one is way more fancy. So like I said, there's a lot of different blessing buffs that you guys can get. So we're talking a stronger ultimate skill, increasing the skill damage of my ultimate by 30%, or we can get a lot more steps, increasing the dash count. I'm just gonna pick this middle one so you guys can see that you're literally going to be able to dominate at a higher level. So currently, the dashes are still at 3, but as soon as I get into another mission, I'm going to be able to have 5 dashes. So my dash count is going to increase immensely, and that's very big as we finish up this wave 4 boss and we get into our final wave with under 1:20 to go. Looks like 2 different monsters. Like I said, Saw is very vital here. You definitely want to bring the lovely lady Saw. She's going to help you out immensely, because you definitely want to break. Boom, we're breaking, we're doing as much as we can. Saw is getting relatively low on her mana, so maybe a full Viri set isn't best here. You might want to go Behemoth set, but we're rocking Viri because it's giving her the best buffs possible. So boom, there's a break there. Oh, we ended up breaking both of them at once. That's big. So let's go ahead and spam ultimates. Boom. Those ultimates are doing big damage. We're gonna hit Mean with a punishment and an ultimate, and then we're gonna finish it off with Alicia. So Alicia is definitely the anchor here, especially on the hunter side. And now let's get our last blessing. So looks like mana, break damage increase, and mana capacity. So we know a lot of bosses have hella break gauges. Let's go ahead and get break damage increase. We're gonna need that, especially for Vulcan. Now, all these missions up to this point have been relatively easy. Now, the Vulcan mission isn't that easy, I'm gonna be honest, right? But I think when it comes to Vulcan, it's all about breaking him as fast as possible, and literally the same setup that I showed you at the Black Cerberus or Abyss Cerberus, and we're gonna bring that here. Now, when it comes to Vulcan, Like I said, you can get any type of, armor pieces from Abyss Cerberus. You can get any accessory pieces from floor 25, but on Vulcan, you can get either or. So keep that in mind. You definitely want to play as far as you can before you leave or, fully complete it. But keep in mind, for Burning Square or Burning Overpass, you do not get any rewards there. You just get applied blessings. So look at this. We have 6 different blessings currently. We got, all of these. You can read these, of course. And they're all not too bad, honestly. Now, full legendary, applied blessings would probably be ideal, but like I said, that's complete RNG. That's almost the equivalent of pulling a triple SSR. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So don't, re-roll too much on the blessings. You definitely want to keep going until you get something that's very, very manageable, because the blessings will matter. For me, it did at least, but oh, this isn't a hunter mission, so we're gonna start off with the boy Iris, and we're not in the red here, so crits are going to matter. We're bringing the plum sword as long as the grimoire. So let's get straight into this. Same exact setup as Abyss Cerberus at the entering stage, but let's go ahead, boom. And then we're pairing that with the beast set and toughness set. That way our attack increases over time. All right, let's get straight into Vulcan, guys. So when it comes to Vulcan, there is going to be a long outdrawn battle. You have 5 minutes to play him. You definitely want to dodge this initial skill. You might want to delay it because he's going to do it 3 times. So you might want to wait to that 3rd time, summon the shadows, summon your supports, because he will end up doing that 3 different times. So to prevent the damage done to you, you're going to go ahead and boom, we're going to use our shadow step here, or extreme evasion, sorry. The shadow step's gonna come though. Once he attacks us and misses, let's try it, boom. There's the shadow step, as we can see there. We can do an iceberg to go ahead and break. Now we can do as much damage as possible, right? So boom, we're summoning our supports. We're doing as much damage. We're increasing our critical hit damage there. We're hitting a full bloom on him. Doing as much as he can. Before he uses his flamethrower move though, we're gonna hit him with the grimoire and freeze him. Boom, another shadow step is gonna do the trick. And what I really like here is Alicia Blanc. And why is that? Is because she's gonna end up wiping those debuffs on Sung Jinwoo. So just keep that in mind. Now when you do a sizable amount of damage, he's gonna prepare his powerful blow. This is gonna do meteors, but you wanna basically shadow step back and forth until you can see one of these safe zones appear, and then you wanna hide behind that and you will not be marked by damage. So I don't really know how much damage you're gonna take if you do end up, going into one of those, but I haven't stuck around to find out, you know what I mean? But let's go ahead and do as much more damage as we can. Let's freeze, And then let's hit him with the ultimate. Looks like we got stuck there a little bit. I wonder if this damage is gonna register. If the damage registers, this would be nice though. Boom, boom, boom. Looks like he's at 15%. So he's definitely gonna disappear now. Boom, boom, boom. Now, this next skill, when you do sizable amount of damage, what you need to do is run into one of these piles of rubble. So you're gonna ram him basically into there. All you gotta do is walk behind it, and then that's basically how that works. So boom, here we are. And then probably don't want him to disappear. We probably should have froze him there, but now he's going to do his next powerful blow. So like I said, you want to evade. I like to usually evade back and forth. Looks like the safe zone appeared right in front of me. That's lovely. And then boom, so here we are. And now, once you're very, very close to defeating Vulcan, he's gonna have a lot of shield, and then he's going to also have the wall of flame. So there's a lot of things kind of just in the way when it comes to Vulcan. We're gonna boom, summon our supports. You definitely don't want to let those, flame ticks stack up too much. We got a lot of defense and a lot of HP, but if you're, lower in HP, literally weaker to defense, you might be at risk of getting one hit. So just keep that in mind. These 5 dashes are coming into play very, very nicely. So it's in our best interest to utilize that to the best of our abilities. As we're lowering that last gauge, we're finally, boom. We finally got that gauge down, lovely. We're gonna hit that full bloom, and then we're gonna Oh, I was gonna say hit the ultimate, but looks like he fell there. And boom, we got 1:47 to spare. Took us 3 minutes and 30 seconds to do that. I'll be honest, I failed, so this is honestly a retry, but we ended up defeating him. That's very, very lovely, very, very nice. And like I said, you can get either accessories and artifact armor pieces. So boom, here we go. Looks like a burning greed earrings and boots of burning curse. So that's not terrible. That's not terrible there. The fight itself is terrible, right? I'm level 80. I am, you know, basically a whale at this point on this account. And that still took us 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So this is hard end game material. This is very, very insane. And then once that's done, you'll basically get this raid complete. You've cleared all the stages in Workshop of Brilliant Light. And then the only thing for you to click here is the return, which basically takes you out of it. It, you know, consumes that workshop invitation. And then you have the opportunity to now do normal mode, or you can stick it with easy mode. And I'll be honest, normal mode is insane. Okay. I spent literally at least half of the stream just trying out floor 25 on the hunter side. I re-rolled on the blessings over and over and over, and you know, I got the best possible blessings. I didn't even finish out one of these missions. As you can see, we only have 5 when you can get a max of 6, so it's honestly insane. And it was this one that we didn't end up finishing in this. You can kind of see the power differences, or else it's not going to show me here, but you can see this one's 390,000, and then for Vulcan we're in the red because he's 500,000 battle power. So definitely we'd had to, you know, increase our whale amount or just get better sets, because honestly you can get better sets here. And then under Vulcan, that's where you can get these legendary artifact pieces. So we definitely want to get as strong as possible. The best method will probably be getting the best possible burning sets. I do think Burning Greed will be great for Sung Jinwoo though. I definitely like that for him. And you know, once we get the perfect sub stats and main stats, you can definitely throw that on him and then try out Vulcan on normal mode. But we basically showed you guys each and every facet of Workshop of Brilliant Light. And with that in mind, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts below where at it. Be sure to leave a like on the video. If this guide helped you out, leave a like, because you know, this is honestly my longest guide so far. Subscribe, turn on post notifications, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.